while studying abroad in France. What we know right now. Plus, a century-old church demolished, and what's next for its congregation. And a AAA report says drivers are becoming more aggressive in the area. Local law enforcement responds.
A little bit of snow expected the second half of the weekend, just enough to make it look festive for December. The forecast and details coming up next.
From your breaking news and weather authority on Fox Rochester, this is 13 Wham News at 10.
The search for a missing St. John Fisher University student overseas has family desperate for answers.
I don't want anything for Christmas other than him to return, safely.
A St. John Fisher student who is studying abroad in France is missing. Good evening, I'm Chase Howell. Ken Deland, a senior at the university, has not been heard from since November 27th. 13 Wham's Carla Rogner sat down with his parents tonight. Carla?
Yeah, Ken's parents are worried, but they're trying to stay positive. They say Ken was having the best time on his study abroad program, which ends next week. And it's not like him to just disappear like this. They just want to know that he's okay. This is surveillance video from Saturday morning at a Decathlon store in Montelamar. Ken Deland is in the red jacket. This is the last known footage of him. That store is about a 50-minute train ride south of the University of Grenoble-Alpes, where Ken has been studying for the fall semester. His parents last heard from Ken on November 27th and said nothing seemed out of the ordinary.
We were just exchanging how he was doing, and, he's been traveling. He's been having a great time.
When he didn't show up to class or to his host family's home, his family filed a missing persons report and got police involved, who tracked his phone to a train station. No one has heard from him since.
We just shake our heads. We don't understand why he's not reaching out to us.
Before he disappeared, Ken had been sharing his adventures abroad on social media, like his trip to Versailles and to see the Colosseum in Rome. Now his parents have no idea what he's doing.
He's having the time of his life, and we're just scratching our heads trying to put it together.
St. John Fisher University sharing a statement saying it's doing everything it can to help local and foreign authorities with the investigation. Ken's parents have made a website to get the word out, trying to do everything they can from the other side of the world.
We're waiting. We're worried. We don't know where he is.
Their message for their son:
we love you, and we hope you can...
We're waiting to hear from you, and we're waiting for you to come home.
Exactly.
And the university and local authorities are working with law enforcement in France. Ken's family has also asked local elected officials for help, like Claudia Tenney's office. The FBI has recently gotten involved too. His family just hopes that Ken is home in time for Christmas. Chase?
All right, Carla, thank you. The Buffalo mass shooting suspect is back in court tomorrow. Peyton Gendron is accused of killing 10 people in a hate-filled racist attack at a top supermarket last May. He's already pleaded guilty to state murder charges. He's also facing federal murder and hate crime charges. The Rochester Police Accountability Board announces tonight Sherry Walker-Cowart as the agency's newest interim executive director. Walker-Cowart brings 20-plus years of leadership experience to the PAB. She served as executive director of the city's Traffic Violations Bureau and worked within the Office of Public Integrity. The search for the PAB's permanent executive director is expected to begin sometime in the new year. A Henrietta man accused of threatening to shoot his co-workers is behind bars tonight. Deputies were called to Cooper Vision in Scottsville for reports of an employee behaving erratically. We learned investigators found a male made threats to potentially shoot other workers. Deputies say 24-year-old Denise Sabidi was caught with a loaded 9mm pistol without a serial number in the parking lot of Cooper Vision. He's being held at Monroe County Jail accused of criminal possession of a weapon. A 150-year-old house of worship is now being demolished nearly a year after a devastating fire on Christmas Day. The cause of the fire still remains a mystery. Dalton Williams shares what's next for the congregation of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Sheila Holman watched as crews began tearing down the Jefferson Avenue Seventh-day Adventist Church. The church, a staple in this Rochester neighborhood, and a place she's been going to for nearly 50 years.
It's like losing a part of you. You know, you have great memories here, got married here, had children in the church, and it's just like part of you is being gone, taken away. A lot of the older members, we have a lot of members that are in the 90s, in their 90s.
Last Christmas, a fire broke out in the 150-year-old church just hours after the annual Christmas service. The damage beyond repair.
And then when I got the call, I just felt that it was just an ordinary fire, something that could be put out. But when I got here and saw it, I recognized that we were in serious trouble.
After much thought and prayer, Pastor Hanson Drisdale and other church leaders decided to have the building demolished and move the church to a new permanent home on Chile Avenue next fall.
It wasn't an easy decision. We recognized that the cost to do that was really high, much more than we got from our insurance payout. And so we look at other options, buying land, building on it, or buying existing properties that would meet our needs.
While Pastor Drisdale and the other church members say they're sad to see the historic building come down, they still have hope.
It's a sad feeling, but you know what? We have a future, and we're looking forward to the future, see what God has in store for us in the future. This part is closed and a new door is open.
For 13 WHAM News, I'm Dalton Williams.
Help is needed tonight after a fire destroyed a barn sanctuary in Mendon last night. It's a place farm animals go to live out the rest of their days. Several animals were lost in the fire and the others are being sheltered at the Lollipop Farm for the time being. The Honeyway Falls Mendon Rotary Club posting on Facebook today, they are now collecting funds to help put back together the sanctuary. For more details, head to 13wham.com. The president and CEO of Our Lady of Mercy School for Young Women has retired. Pam Baker served in that role since January of 2019 and guided the school through the COVID pandemic. She'll be available as an advisor, though, through the end of the school year. Sister Patricia Prinzing will serve as interim president, effective immediately.
It's Thursday late night. I thought you might want to see The Weeknd. I know I do. You want to see? Here, have a look. It's going to be a pretty nice Saturday filled with sunshine, maybe some late day clouds on the way, a festive light snow, and maybe some mix around on Sunday. We'll have to watch the track of a little weak area of low pressure. So it's pretty nice right now, and I do expect, though, clouds to come on in off of the lake overnight. And you can see now on the Wham cam, it's 28 degrees because of that clear sky. Temperatures have fallen quickly this evening, but look what's going on a little bit closer to the lake. You see that? A whole bunch of clouds and a couple of sprinkles. That's going to slide on in tonight, and I think that will keep our temperatures steady and maybe rise a little bit overnight in the low 30s. We'll end up tomorrow with upper 30s, some clouds over to some afternoon sun. A pretty nice afternoon on the way for tomorrow. But again, we'll look ahead to Sunday's weather system and what the second half of December may offer in the forecast coming up.
All right, Scott, thank you. Still ahead on Fox Rochester, the Department of Justice wants former President Trump held in contempt of court. We tell you why. And the backlash tonight, the White House is facing over the prisoner swap.